good morning. Today we're going to do a vlog like the olden days. I'm going to go out and do some shopping. I've got to go to quite a few different shops because each shop has different things at different prices that I want. Our local supermarket isn't that great. I've bought 3 lots of produce that have ended up going off, so I'm avoiding them in a minute, so I have to drive a bit further out. But I'll take you there, show you what I can. Oh, look at this. Stuck a camera in the car. So my brother recently got into an accident. When I say got into an accident, he was all the way for a roundabout and a learner driver under instruction from a mum drove into him and then tried to say, "How do you know it was us?" And he said, because I've got a dash cam here. She's like, and then didn't say anything, and it reminded me that I hadn't wired in our camera. So I've done a good job, look. It's wired. Can't see the wiring. I've just got to spend a couple of hours to wire in the rear camera. And the reason being here, I heard how bad their driving was prior to coming here. It is shocking. Most UK driving, including London, where it could be quite bad, is 10 times the standard of here. A couple of days ago, it rained. Vegas rains, not real rain. And within about 8 minutes, there were 3 crashes on my journey, which was one road to the supermarket. And it was so, I mean, there was so many, it was hard for me to capture and work out what was going on. So one car had crashed across the junction. The other car had crashed, I think, watching the crash. The following junction, somebody had crashed into the lamppost, all because it was wet. And then I got to the supermarket and somebody had crashed there. So there were just police everywhere. And people do, we've mentioned it before, all kinds of crazy stuff while driving. So I think it's a good thing to get the camera. I made it to stop 1, which is going to be Target. That way. So what should have been quite a quick trip to Target turned into double the amount of time to check out. So the lady scanning my items, I don't know how she managed to confuse herself, but I was watching what she was doing, only because it happened 3 or 4 times, and she was using the tax exempt items, because I'm guessing the system doesn't automatically know for some unknown reason. Maybe somebody hasn't coded up certain items. But on the second time round of tax exemption, she put in the enter customer phone number, and then it was waiting for the phone number, so it's spinning around. She's like, "Oh, I don't know what's wrong with the system." I was like, "I don't want to put my phone number in." She's like, "Oh, you don't need to put your number in." I was like, "But you've clicked that and it's asking me for a number on the keypad." And then she's waiting there, just hitting the buttons, nothing's working because it's spinning, obviously waiting for me to put the thing in. So she clicks log out, which is the only option that she has, logs out of the system, starts everything again. She's like, "Oh, I'm really sorry, I'm gonna have to take all of your items out of the trolley or cart." Okay, so I take them all out. She scans the items, and then she's like, "Oh, didn't you have more onions?" "No, you've got everything from the cart." She's like, "Okay." So she scans it again, hits the same button. They are right next to each other, so the tax exemption and the customer phone number, I'm guessing if you're a store member, goes in. She's like, "Oh, this machine keeps going round and round and round, and people are leaving the queue because they can see it's being held up." So I'm just patiently waiting, and I know she'll work it out eventually. So she's like, "Oh, can you just put your number in?" I was like, "I can, but it's not, I don't have a store." So I put my number in, it says doesn't recognize. Of course not. She's like, "Oh, this machine." "No, it's not the machine. I didn't say that." She logs out again. I take my items back out of the trolley, put them back up there. I thought, this I'm just leaving them, because if she messed it up again, fortunately, 3rd time around, she manages to check all of my items out. The one great buy I got in there was, I'm guessing because at the moment, rudely interrupted by a phone call. I'll finish my thought first. So I got a really good deal because turkey is bought for Thanksgiving here. Any leftover turkey they have is sold really cheap. So 80 cents a pound. So that's about 50 pence per 500 grams. So for a 8 kilo turkey, I paid, I think it was about £8 or £9, which I'm quite happy with. I enjoy turkey leg, and I hope I can cook the turkey breast well enough. It's a whole turkey, I'll show you. So what did I spend in there? So this is shop 1. I'm probably going to go to 3 shops, and we spent $60.21. I'll see if I can take a picture and put it in. I would imagine today I'm going to probably spend around the $150 for the week, and then we top up throughout the week. But it's really just to give you an idea of how we go about our weekly shopping. I always come out on a Monday. I do 2 or 3 supermarkets. I then do the fuel. I'm not sure if I'll get enough time today because I've got an appointment. We're at the next stop, so we're at Whole Foods, which is in a previous video. I think that 2 videos ago we showed you Whole Foods, but I'll attempt to capture some of what is in Whole Foods. It's literally opposite. So Target is there, Whole Foods is there. Because I've got my appointment, I'm not sure if I'm going to make it to the 3rd shop. I might just do the fuel today, but let's see what we can get in Whole Foods and maybe we can avoid doing the 3rd shop anyway. Do 12. That didn't go to plan. I've got 45 minutes to make it to my appointment, but that included doing the shopping, getting back home, unpacking and getting to the appointment. So I didn't get exactly what I needed, and it was also really busy, which it's usually not. But I realised it's the holidays, it's Christmas, so lots of people out doing their Christmas shopping. So in there I only ended up spending $20. We mostly got drinks and some veg, but because I won't be able to get to the next place now, what I'll do is I took a video of the Asian supermarket 168, and I'll throw that in and you can have a look around there. I think that was probably like $100 and something because I got crab and various other stuff. So I'll throw that in and then I'll finish up the video once I finish my appointment. Finished up my appointment. Before I finish up my day, we're gonna go and eat at the Noodle Man. It's a nice cheap noodle place. Didn't finish off our video yesterday, so this is now day 2 of what should have been a 1-day vlog. And after doing half of the shopping, we then realised when I got back home that Selena's in work for the week. Yeah. So she's in work for 4 or 5 days, so I bought food that I'll have to eat myself now.
I'm sure you can get through it.
Yeah, but it's weird because you've not been in, and now you're in for 4 days in your local office as well.
This is my local office. I'm having my first team meeting with my new team. So I started a new job with the same company but new role, moved teams at the beginning of October, and this is the first time I'm getting to meet them. So this is purely my team meeting, which is a bit strange.
Yeah, so I'll drop her off there. I'm gonna go and do the fuel that I was meant to do yesterday, and then I'll come back and wire the car. So we've got a rear view camera. Made it to the office location. It's interesting because it's right near the airport. When I say near the airport, it's kind of like opposite the airport. So you could walk into the runway or the taxiway in about 5 minutes. It's a bit strange. I guess it makes sense for all these businesses to be here because where am I going? Because if you have to travel internationally, it's right next to the airport. Makes sense, or it does to me anyway. I'm gonna go grab some fuel, and I haven't been to the gym for 4 days. So I haven't been to the gym in 4 days now, so I need to do the gym, but I've got many other things that I need to do in the meantime. So I'm gonna work out at home today because it'll save the 15 minutes it takes me to get to and from. So that's half an hour's worth of workout I get for free essentially, and then I can wire up the car, and I've got to produce 2 videos. Started the teardown of the car because I'm having to take loads of panels out to get the rear camera in, so I'll show you what I'm gonna have to do. So running from here, because that's where the master camera is going to go, and I'm going to have to run the cable all the way through there, all the way, so all of these panels have to come out all the way through here, and then you'll see all of these panels have to come off because it has to. The main thing you have to be able to do is, if you think this is the outside, so the tailgate is the outside of the car, and the wire is going to come from the inside, so you'll have to pull, or I'll have to pull all of these panels off and then route it through this. So that takes it from inside to outside of the car, and then that will allow me to mount the other camera here. So the rear camera, all of that for this little bit. And I had to buy a, that's the standard cable. I had to buy a, I don't know what it was, like 10-meter extension cable, and then run all of these cables in. Once we've finished the house build, which should hopefully be by June next year, my next project is I want a couple of classic cars. So I want a classic Porsche 60s, 70s. I want a classic Merc, probably around 70s or 80s will be good. And then a classic muscle or old pickup, something Americana as well. But I want to get them where they're running, but they need a lot of work. And then when we get our garage, I can start fixing them up. I won't get them all at the same time. I'll get one each time, and I'll spend anywhere from 6 months to a year, redo the car, have it in running condition, probably only keep 2 and sell 1 to make some of the money back. Joy, I didn't realize that one side of the car is different to the other in terms of how much wiring goes through. So for anybody that's ever wiring a rear camera into a BMW, the right hand side, if you're looking at the car straight on from the back, so in the UK that would be the driver's side, here is the passenger side, has a much thicker cable, which means you can't push that one through so easily. So I had to redo it all and come out the left side. This one here, over to this one. That was a lot longer than expected. I made that mistake of going in one side and then having to come to the other, but getting all of the panels off is quite difficult. Oddly, we've had 2 grey days in Vegas, so it's actually raining, or sort of 10 degrees C and very grey, which is why it's dark. But the main issue I had is I had to get an extra long cable because the cable that comes with it doesn't actually fit properly. It wouldn't have reached. So the longer cable is very long, and you can't exactly measure with a ruler how much you need and where to store it, so you have to kind of guess. And unfortunately, here, that will be tidied up. All of the extra cable is at the front of the car when I could have stored it in the back, and I'm not going through that again, so it's a couple of hours. So I'm going to have to find a way to tie wrap the cable up and then tuck it up somehow, or if I can be bothered, I'm going to have to cut the cable, resolder the end back on, and that'll get rid of the slack. There's about well over probably about 2 meters worth of slack in there. Anyway, to finish up this video, which has been a bit fragmented, I've decided to come to the local petrol station. They're quite interesting. I'll show you around. For anyone in the UK, everything's one way in, one way out. Here you can come into a petrol garage in any direction. So I'm facing one way, the person next to me is facing the other, the person on this side is facing the same way as me. They tend to have convenience stores attached to them, but this one also has a garage and a car wash. So all of the lots that petrol stations or gas stations are on are quite big, but they can be confusing. I've seen people get into arguments because somebody wants to come in one way and they're going out, so you can come in and out either direction as well. It's absolutely freezing, but one of the things that we got rid of in the UK many years ago was this: the ability to lock off the pump so that you can just click it and walk away, and you can pretty much sit in your car, especially when you've got a 20-gallon tank. Just sit in the car, wait for it to fill up, and then unclick it, put it away. In the UK, we still have to stand with the pump and hold it, which is really bizarre. I don't know what it prevents, because you can't really overfill a car anyway, so it'd be nice to have those back in the UK. That's the garage, super nice Mercedes GT over there, which I really like. The convenience store and the car wash. It was 1/3 full, so we only needed 14 gallons, and that was $57. And this is not the cheapest fuel station by any means. There are 3.7 litres to a US gallon, so you can do the math, or maths, however you say it, on how much that costs, but it's probably about roughly half the cost, I would guess, at the moment. When I went back to the UK, it was £1.60 roughly for a litre of fuel, so that's over $2.20, maybe a bit more, $2.20 per litre, so you have to times that by 3.7. Anyway, that's the end of the video for the last 2 days. It's kind of been a day in the life split across 2 days, so I hope you've enjoyed. Thanks for watching.